Yer. Damn. Alright, what's good, gang? It's solely solo here, right? And today, I'm gonna give y'all a story time. This is my first time doing one of these, right? And so basically, this story is how I was cheated on, kinda. Heavy emphasis on the kinda, and you'll see why. So this happened back when I was in high school, right? And obviously, I'm not gonna say the names of these people. I'm gonna like give code names, for obvious reasons, right? So one summer, I can't remember. I think it might have been like 10th grade. I was in 10th grade, right? That summer, I started fucking with my best friend, which was a girl. We're gonna call her Alexa, right? I was fucking with Alexa's best friend, and her best friend was this girl named let's give her Jess or Jessie, right? We're gonna call her Jessie, right? So Jessie had a fat ass, right? So me and my boy Warren, that's not a code name, that's a real name. Me and my boy Warren, we looking at this girl like, damn, she got a fat ass, right? And so we just like, yo, who's going for her, me or you? And he was like, nah, you got that, bro. That's all you. So I was like, I bet, say less. So mind you, I actually used to like Alexa. Me and Alexa were mad tight. Like we was tight as fuck. Our friendship was honestly toxic as hell. Our friendship was very toxic. That's a story for another day. But I actually liked her a lot, and I saw this as like an opportunity to one, be with a girl with a fat ass, and two, get over her because I'll be getting with my best friend's best friend, right? So we had like fine not fine like midterms or whatever, right? And it was me, Warren, my other friend Michael, Alexa, and Jesse. So we all had like a period of time, like a period of free time before the next test would take place. So we actually walked down or drove down to the Commons, which is an outdoor mall, right? So we drove down to the Commons or whatever, and we're just walking and talking or whatever. And this Jessie girl, she was mad cool. She was cool as fuck. She was, for us to like see her for like the very first time, she was very talkative. She was dope as hell. So I was like, oh shit, okay, okay. She was actually talking to us more than Alexa was, and Alexa was supposedly our best friend. So I was like, okay, this girl cool or whatever, right? And so after that, we just go and take our test. The day just goes by normal. But over time, she starts hanging out with the group even more. So we start seeing her more, and later she ends up getting added to like group chats and shit. And so now we all like she's honest, like she's in this group now, right? So summer comes around, and I told this girl, I'm like, yo, I can't even lie to you. I'm fucking with you, like I like you, I got feelings for you, whatever, you cute and all of that. She was like, word, I kinda like you too, whatever, right? So I was like, I bet, say that. So so we start like talking, we start fucking with each other, and while we start fucking with each other, right? It was never like official. It was never official, but we were talking, and I told my boys like, yo, I can't even lie to y'all. I'm like, I'm fucking with this girl right now. They're like, I bet, who is it? Who is it? So I told my boys who it was, and I told one of my other best friends. I was like, yo, Ian, this is the girl I'm fucking with. He was like, oh shit, oh I know her because she live in my neighborhood or whatever. I was like, oh shit, okay, whatever, ha ha ha. Right. So after I tell Ian, I'm just like, yo, I like this girl, right? Her name Jessie, whatever, all of that good stuff. He was like, 2 days later, he was like, what? I think I like her too now. So I'm like, what the fuck do you mean you like her too now? I was like, what? And so I just tried to ignore it. But one day, me and Jesse are on FaceTime, and she telling me like, oh yeah, your boy Ian, like I think he liked me, all of that good stuff. I'm just like, what do you mean? She was like, oh yeah, like he been texting me, this is that and the next or whatever, whatever. I can't remember exactly how I handled that, but I didn't really do shit about it because it's not like she's my girl, so I couldn't really like do anything. And I told Ian, I was like, yo, like I'm fucking with her, like I'm fucking with her. You kind of can't do that. And I don't remember what he was saying, but basically this nigga ain't stopped fucking with her. So now at this point, it starts feeling like competition. Like my so-called best friend is my damn competition. So that shit was getting me tight. So now it's just like I'm fucking with Jesse, and now he fucking with Jesse, and I'm just like, I was fucking with her first, so I'm not letting go. And it was getting me tight because it's just like, I like this girl, and you ruining shit for me. Because now I feel like I'm competing for her. Like she's a trophy, and she's not. So I'm just like, it was just getting me tight because now I'm just like, you supposed to be my friend, and now you just liking all the same girls that I happen to be liking. Okay, okay, buddy. And so it actually made it worse because they lived in the same complex, and I live relatively close to them, but not close enough to where I could walk. Like I would have to drive. It's like a 5 minute drive to their house, but like a probably like a 30 minute walk. They live in the same development, so that just made shit worse. So time goes by, like days, weeks, whatever, and we chilling. We on Facetime. Explicit pictures is getting sent, not back and forth, mind you. She's sending me explicit pictures, and I receive them, and I do my thing. You know what I'm talking about. I ain't gotta explain it past that. So we messing with each other, right? And I'm pretty sure I'm missing probably like small details. It don't matter, but we messing with each other, and she telling me like, oh yeah, Ian's trying to come over. It's just that and the next, and I can't do shit about it. Honestly, me now, I wouldn't tolerate any of the shit that I'm about to tell y'all, but like back then, me was something different, right? So so she telling me like, yo, Ian trying to come over, whatever, whatever. I'm like, are you gonna let him? She's like, yeah, I don't see why not. I was like, okay, all right, you go ahead and do that. You let me know what happened after that. So they get to hanging out or whatever, and she tells me, she was like, yo, Ian is mad quiet, but that boy low key a freak. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she goes, oh, like like we like he started like. So we started talking. He sat on my bed, and then like I went to the bathroom or whatever, and then he came to the bathroom with me. He put me on the sink, opened my legs, and started making out with me. This is that and the next. So I'm like, what the fuck? This nigga's supposed to be my best friend and doing this shit. I'm like, I text this nigga. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? He's like, I can't remember what he was saying, but clearly I went for that shit because we were still competing for her after that. Like I didn't cut him off, and I didn't cut her off. Like I was still like, I don't know why. Now that I'm really thinking about it, I don't know why I didn't just cut shit off with both of them at the time. But me and Ian are good now though. We best friends now. But like me and Jesse, we don't talk anymore. So so after that, I'm heated, but I try not to let it get to me too much because at the same time, it's like we have a thing, but she's not mine yet, so I can't really be like, oh, you need to stop before I break up with you. How the fuck we gonna break up if we're not even if we not set, if it's not set in stone? So I felt like I would have been I feel like I would have been out of pocket, so I feel like that's why I didn't really end things. So we ended up hanging out a few times in the summer. And I was trying to take things slow because I actually wanted a relationship with her. I wasn't trying to just have sex and fucking do all that. I wasn't trying to do all that. I wanted an actual relationship, so I didn't want to just I didn't want Ian to influence what I do. So I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, he was doing this, all right, bet, let me outdo him. No, I'm gonna go at my own pace. That's what I thought at the time, right? So we go to see fireworks or whatever, and I was nervous. I can't even lie to y'all. I was gonna kiss her that day, but I was nervous, and I didn't. I ended up not kissing her because the whole group was following us the entire time, and I didn't want to be like, yo guys, stop following us so I could kiss her. Like I didn't want to do all that. So I was trying to get us alone so I could kiss her, but like the whole group just kept following us. Like they just would not leave. I'm like, do y'all not get this message? Like, all right, so I had to cut the video because my dog started barking like he had a muzzle on. But yeah, so I was just like, yo, do y'all not get the message? Like I'm trying to do some things with this girl. So they didn't get the message. I didn't get my kiss. But later that night, I did end up getting explicit pictures and all of that. But it was just the same thing, the whole summer. It was just me and her hanging out, me scared to make my move and all of that stuff. But this is where the process starts. So I was at Warren's house one day, right? In the summer, I was at Warren's house and his cousin was there too. And so she told me, I was like, we woke up or whatever. I was like, yo, I got plans. I'm gonna be at my friend's house, and I might sleep over for a few days. And she was like, oh, I bet I'm gonna just go to the mall with a friend or whatever. I was like, who is this friend? She's like, oh, you don't know him. So I was like, oh, it's a him. She's like, yeah, I promise we're not gonna do nothing, and if we do, I promise to tell you. I'll be honest. I was like, alright, whatever. And knowing that she did shit with my best friend, I was like, yeah, she's definitely gonna do shit with this nigga who I don't even know. So I was ready for it. But like I said, we didn't have a title. We weren't really dating, so I couldn't really be like, no, don't go, or I'm gonna break up with you. I don't have that authority. So, so I ended up going to Warren's house, and me and his cousin, we spending the night or whatever. And around like probably like late, like 9 o'clock, or whatever. Um, she texted me on some. Can I tell you something? I was like, all right, here we go. What happened? She was like, so I went to the mall with this dude. I was like, yeah. She was like, so like we was walking around and he started touching me. So okay, what else? And she was like, we ended up going like to I forgot what store. It don't really matter. She was like, we ended up going to this store, and we went in the fitting room and we started making out, and he started sucking on my bobs or whatever. So I was like, oh, all right. So at that point, I'm not a bitch, right? So I wasn't gonna be like mad at you, whatever, right? So I was like, I say that remove my contact. I told her, I was like, no, we're done. I'm not, no, right? She's like, no, I'm sorry, please, like, look, at least I was honest. This is that, like, I'm not gonna let it happen again. This is that, whatever. Basically how she was like, oh, at least I was honest. Like, I'm not trying to hide nothing from you. That's why I told you. So like, you know, basically all of that good stuff, right? So I was like, you know what? Let me think about it. So after like 2 to 3 days, mind you, this whole time I was still sleeping over at my best friend's house. We lit for like 3 days in a row. And after I left his house, that's when I texted her and I was like, you know what? You right. You were being honest with me. I don't like the shit that you did, but you didn't hide it from me. So therefore, there is some trust. I don't trust you fully. She was like, yeah, I get it. I'll rebuild that trust. This is that and next or whatever. I'm like, all right then, so we can move on. She was like, yeah, we gonna move on, right? So now that's two red flags. First, she already fucking with my best friend, and then telling me how freaky he is, this, that, and next. And then two, she ends up going to the mall with this dude, and he's sucking on her bobs, and they making out or whatever, right? Her bobs, 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 right? So that's two red flags that I just didn't wanna, I just overlooked it for some unknown reason. So now school rolls around, right? Actually, no, I'm missing a detail. Let's go back a little bit. I actually was not here for this part of the story. Warren was. So I'm gonna have to just tell this from his point of view. So basically, Warren, my best friend, what's her name? What did I give her name? Alexa. Warren, Alexa, and I think someone else who is irrelevant to the story was there. So it was Warren, Alexa, someone else, and Jesse. Or it might have just been Warren, Alexa, and Jesse. Right? Let's just go with that. It was Warren, Alexa, and Jesse, right? So they went to the movies, right? And in my town, we have a movie theater like in the center of town. So that was like at that time, everybody was going to that movie theater. It wasn't the greatest, but it was just because it was so cheap. Like you could get a movie ticket for like $5, no matter what movie it was. Like it was just so cheap and just very. It was right there, so everyone was going to this movie theater, and I couldn't go because I don't know. I think I just didn't have a ride, and we was in 10th grade, so it's not like anyone was driving, So nobody was gonna pick me up, so I couldn't go, and Ian decided to walk all the way to the movie theater. But this is why he decided to walk. So I think they're watching this movie or whatever, right? And Jesse ends up texting. Jesse, I think, ends up texting Ian, or Ian and probably texted Jesse talking about some. What are you doing? I'm at the movies. Basically, Ian found out that Jesse was at the movies, so he was like, "Say that I'm down there." So he ended up walking all the way from his house to the theater, and he walked in. He bought a ticket, went to the movies with them, and she was actually trying to initiate everything. Like he sat next to her and whatever, and she tried to kiss him, but he was like, "Nah, nah, nah, don't do that, right?" And then she was like touching on his thigh, whatever, and he like removed her hand, and then I don't know. This is a guess. I can't remember. I don't know if this is accurate. I'll have to ask Warren, but I think she tried to suck Ian's dick. I think. I'm not too sure, but that's what I think, right? And basically, he denied all of it. So basically, Ian went to the movies for Jesse, but denied any type of sexual contact And the reasoning he did that was because of me. He was like, nah, you messing with Solo, this is that and next. So now we're just like, why didn't you do this before? Now you don't want to engage in her in with any type of sexual activity with her at all because you know that I'm messing with her, but yet you was messing with her at the start. Even though I was messing with her first, you went to her house, put her on the sink, opened her legs, and started making out with her in the bathroom. But now you want to be like, nah, because you messing with my boy Solo. Whatever. I don't even, if that's the case, I don't even know why he went to the movies that day, but whatever. So now I know. Warren told me, because Jesse never actually told me that. Warren told me all of that. So I was like, oh, I bet. I said that knowing I wasn't gonna do shit. I didn't even press her about it. So, school rolls around, and we had a homecoming game, right? And so we had a homecoming game, and Warren and Alexa were having problems over something that happened in the summer with Alexa and Warren's cousin. You know, the same cousin who was spending the night the same time I was spending the night. Yeah, a whole lot of shit happened, but I'm only explaining my story. So, shit happened between Warren and Alexa, and Warren was hellbent on getting answers, right? And mind you, Alexa and Jesse were best friends. Warren wanted answers from Alexa, and I just wanted to see Jesse because that's the girl who I was messing with, right? So we're at the homecoming game. When we go to these games, we don't go for the actual game. Like, we just go because everyone's there. We just go to hang out or whatever, right? So Warren being hellbent for answers, he told me to find out where they are because Alexa and Jesse were hanging out with each other. So I looked at Jesse's location. I can't remember if I looked at her location or if she just location, or if she just told me that where they were. But basically, we found out that they was at the Commons. So we was like, I bet, say that we over there. So me and Warren, we walking towards the Commons, and this nigga is walking fast, like he is ready for his answers. So he's walking, and then one of Alexa's exes comes, and then another one of Alexa's exes comes. So it went from being just me and Warren going to the Commons so he can get his answers and I could just see Jesse, to now it being me, Warren, two of Alexa's exes, and then like five other people because the group was just following for some unknown reason. So we all go to the Commons, and now I'm looking at the snap map and I'm seeing like we're basically running around in circles. We can't find them or whatever, and we run around in circles basically trying to find them. And so we give up, right? We give up on trying to find them. So we end up going walking back to the school, and on our way back to the school, that's when we found them. So when we found them, Warren was like, I was like, yo, Warren, you can get your answers, right? But before I continue, I'm gonna go back a little bit because I realized I missed something. So on our way heading back to the school, my friend Damien, which was also Alexa's ex, one of her exes, he told me, he was like, yo, bro, she's not worth it. I'm like, what are you talking about? He was like, yo, I saw Jesse kissing up on another dude. She's not worth it. I'm like, nah, bro, you mess with me. Because Damien was like that nigga who was just messes with everybody in the group. So I just could not take him seriously. I'm like, nah, bro. And especially since no one else, we had a huge ass group and nobody saw it except him. And he's the one that like basically like fucks with everybody in the group. So I just did not believe him. I'm just like, yeah, nah, you mess with me. I can't believe you. He was like, no, bro, I'm dead ass. I'm telling you, I saw her with another guy. Do not fall for it. She's not worth it, bro. I was like, yeah, all right. He was like, all right, whatever. If you get hurt, it's not my fault. Nigga stormed off. I ain't see him for the rest of the night. So now let's pick up where we left off. So we're heading back to the school. We see them, and now Warren's like, I bet I'm gonna get my answers. And I'm just like, okay, well, I'm here for Jesse, so right. And so we're about to get our answers, right? And it's dark outside. It's like, I don't even know what time it is, but I know it's dark outside. And I see that I saw Jessie. I saw her with this tall, skinny dude, right? And so I'm walking. I'm like, I wonder who she's with, right? And then next thing I see is she looks at me. So I'm thinking, okay, like she knows I'm going over there. She looks me dead in my eyes and then starts making out with this nigga. So I was like, oh shit. Okay. And then that's when it hit. Cause she'd be staring at me, Looked me dead in my eyes. I started walking over. Started making out with this nigga, and this dude is like making out with her, like grabbing her ass, like they was just going at it. So I was like, all right, well this hurt. And at the same time that I'm dealing with my shit, Warren's also trying to get answers from Alexa or whatever. And so we both just ended up just getting dog, like it's just our night just was not it. So she basically did me dirty as fuck that night, and Warren never got his answers. So we were just pissed. I was in my feels. I can't even hold you. I started crying. I was hurt. I was hurt. I was hurt. I'll admit it. I was hurt. So after that, like a few days later, it could have honestly it could have been like a week later in school. Um, she actually came up to me. Jesse came up to me and was just like, "Solo, can we talk?" I'm like, "About what?" At this point, it's been a week or whatever, so I'm like, you know what? Fuck her. I'm good. Whatever, right? I started developing this I don't give a fuck mentality about. I was like, I don't give a fuck about nobody. I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about this, that, nothing. I don't give a shit, right? So I started feeling good. Had a huge confidence boost, right? So she's like, "Yo, can we talk later?" I was like, "About what?" She's like, like she's sad, like she got puppy dog eyes. She about to cry, like she's touching me. I moved back. I'm not a simp no more, right? So I'm like, "About what?" And she's like, about what happened. And I'm like, "Okay, we could talk right here." Mind you, I was with Warren. Yeah, I was with like Warren and like three other people, and they were all like my friends. So I think it could be like Warren, Josiah, and a Bell, right? And we was all together walking, and she not pressed me, but she came up to me asking to talk or whatever. I was like, "We could talk right here. And we could talk right here." So she was just like, "I just want to say, like, I'm sorry, and like, I know, like, you probably hate me, and like, but I miss you, and you know, all that stuff, right?" She's like, "I miss you," like, she's trying to get me back, like, she's touching on me. I'm like, "Okay, back up," and she was giving me a long ass apology, trying to still get close to me, and she was like, "Can you forgive me?" And I'm like, I can't remember if she asked if I could forgive her or she was like, "Do you forgive me?" Whatever, right? And so either way, I was just like, "No, I no. Why would I, no like." No, I can't remember exactly what I said, but I do remember that I said no, and I told her, I said, "Don't talk to me. I'm not gonna forgive you for what you did. I'm not mad at you. I don't hate. No, I didn't say that. My fault. I said I don't hate you. I don't hate you, but I'm mad at you for what you did because you broke my neck several times, but at the same time, I just overlooked everything, so that's my fault. But I'm not gonna forgive you. So block me on everything and don't ever talk to me again. We're not gonna talk. That's it, right?" And so she was like, "Okay." She walked off. She started bawling her eyes out, whatever. I felt great. Like when she walked away and I saw and heard her cry, I felt great. I look at Josiah and Warren, and they have like a shocked look on their face, and I have the biggest smile on my face. I was like, "You know what? I did that. I did that. I don't give a fuck. Word, you ain't give a fuck about my feelings. Why the fuck I give a fuck about yours? Like, hell no." So I feel good now, right? And that's pretty much it. But additional information, I found out that the dude who she was kissing up on, not only did they make out, earlier that day they actually went to the movies and they had sex in the movie theaters. And what made it even worse was that dude was Alexa's brother. The same girl that's my best friend and the girl that Warren wanted to get his answers from, that dude was Alexa's brother. Yep. So Jessie, the girl who I was messing with, had sex with my best friend's brother. Yeah. So that's how that story ended. Um, but there's honestly, I mean, that's how I kinda got cheated on. Kinda, emphasis on the kinda, because we weren't really officially a thing or anything, but you know, we were a thing, and I was definitely hurt by what she did. So that's why I said kinda got cheated on. Um, there is not a part two, but what I will say is that there is another situation that involves her, and it's like a continuation. Like it plays into all of this that happened. Like basically, it plays with the explicit photos that she sent me, and that is another story for another time. And that's honestly hectic as hell. But yeah, so that's my story. I hope you guys enjoyed. If y'all want to share this, y'all do your thing. If you don't, it's whatever. You know, I'm just telling my story because I think it's funny as hell. But yeah, so if you like it, you know, subscribe, like the video, do whatever you want, and yeah, peace out.